Welcome to Talking Technology with VI Labs. At VI Labs, we believe technology is the single greatest enabler for people with sight loss and all disabilities. If you're looking for the latest news and conversation on tech from a more accessible perspective, you've come to the right place.
Yes, indeed you have. Hello, welcome in. Hope you're keeping well. Welcome to Talking Technology, episode number 62. Hope you've been having a good couple of weeks since we last spoke to you. It's been a busy time. It's been a chaotic time. There was absolute chaos last week with the CrowdStrike outage. Hope you weren't impacted too much. If you haven't heard the news, I'm sure maybe you were living under a rock, but an update was rolled out overnight last week that impacted loads of international infrastructure, pretty much. Loads of Windows machines went offline. It was really, really messy. Airports came to standstills, broadcasters dropped off air. It really was chaos. I wasn't even able to get my TFI Live app working, so I didn't know when the bus was going to come. It really was a first world problem for me, but some scary stuff too. Some helplines for emergency services even went offline in the States, which is really crazy, terrifying stuff actually. But hey, do you know what? It could have been worse because we got lucky here in Vision Ireland. Not one bit of any of our infrastructure went offline. Yes, Sky News might have been off air, CBBC might have dropped off air, but VI Live, baby, yeah, that thing just kept going smoothly like nothing was going on. It was great. There is absolutely nothing can take us out. There is nothing that can take us down.
The Talking Technology broadcast computer has encountered a critical error and is now shutting down.
I think we have to put it in safe mode. Does anyone know do we know how to put it in safe mode? Looks like I spoke too soon. I must have, I spoke too soon. Anyway, we have we avoided the worst of it in Vision Ireland. Thankfully, we got lucky. So, loads of critical infrastructure offline over the last little while. But we were rock solid, thankfully. We got lucky on this one. So, interesting stuff, though. And we'll be talking more about that in tech news later on as well. But we've got loads coming up on the show today. We have a packed show indeed coming up over the next hour or so. We're going to be talking to Lena and Adela, who are behind the all-new Bookshare Ireland Alexa skill, a really cool Alexa skill. And we'll be talking to them in just a minute about all that and more. And we've also got discussions about the announcement today that there is now a blind Barbie. Yes, blind Barbie is available online and in stores from today. And she's got a lot of really interesting adaptations and stuff like that. We'll be talking about that later on in the show as well. We've got information about the Olympics and Paralympics with audio description, and so much more too. So do stick around with us for the next little while. We'd absolutely love to have you involved. And one way that you can get involved, as always, is to join the conversation. And as always, there are loads of ways to do so. Yes, if you want to join the conversation, we'd love to have you involved. You can get in touch using a WhatsApp voice note. That's probably the easiest way to get in touch. And we might play some of your voice notes in a future episode of the show. The number that you need is 086 199 0011. That's 086 199 0011. Or if you want to do it the good old-fashioned way, you can send us an email to content@vi.ie. That's content@vi.ie. And we would absolutely love to read your comments, get your thoughts on any of the latest Talking Technology news. Maybe you've tried a new tech product and you want to send us a demo. All you need to do is send us a message there to content@vi.ie or a WhatsApp voice note 086 199 0011. Now, let's get down to business, shall we? If you've been keeping an eye on the Vision Ireland social media over the last little while, you may have heard that we have recently announced a brand new Bookshare Ireland Alexa skill. It's a new way that you can read all of your Bookshare books, and you can get them in a new, really accessible fashion. You can just have Alexa read them to you, much like you would something like a Kindle or an Audible book. So we caught up with Lena Cousy from the Vision Ireland Library and Adela Bulliman from Viali, Vision Ireland's sister company, to talk all about the new Bookshare Ireland skill, where it came from, how it's all been developed, and how it works. So here's what happened when I caught up with Lena and Adela earlier this week. So joining me now on Talking Technology to talk all things Bookshare and also the brand new Bookshare Alexa skill, I'm delighted to be joined by Lena Cousy from the Vision Ireland Library and Adela Bulliman from Vision Ireland's sister company, Viali. You're both very welcome. Lena, I'll start with yourself. Do you want to tell us, I guess, for those who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of those listening to Talking Technology will, but for those who don't know, do you want to give us a brief introduction as to what Bookshare is and how it all works?
Thank you, David. Yes, Bookshare is the largest digital accessible library in Ireland. We have over 1.3 million books on that platform in digital format. And what we mean in digital format, we basically get the titles from the book publishers. We have agreements with national and international book publishers. They send their books to us through the Bookshare channel, and then they're displayed on the bookshare.ie platform in a variety of accessible formats. And these formats would be in EPUB 3, MP3 audio, DAISY, ERF, which is a Braille-ready file, and also we also have them in PDF format as well. So these books get displayed in these variety of different formats, and the person can download the book in the format of their choice. So if they're using assistive technology, something like a Braille display, they can download a BRF file instantly to their display, and they can have access to the book straight away.
That's brilliant. And you've recently introduced a brand new feature, which is this new Bookshare Alexa skill. Do you want to tell me a little bit about kind of where that came from, really?
Yeah, our sister company in the United States run this skill as well with their system, with the bookshare.org system. And when saw it, and some of our team saw it as well, they were overwhelmed with what it can actually do. It's absolutely incredible, the fact that Alexa can pick out and read the books that you have in your account. It was such a new thing for us, such a new development, and we wanted that for our service users, for our Bookshare members, to have the same facility to be able to listen to their books using the Alexa skill. And so we started development with Viali a little while ago, maybe about a year ago, and now it was launched just last week.
Brilliant stuff. And Adela, I'll bring you in here. So it was your team over in Viali did a huge amount of work on this. Do you want to tell me, I guess, first of all, like what the skill can actually do, kind of how it works, and then also how did Viali get involved? What was that development process like?
Thanks, David. So the development process was quite simple, really. We used a developer that actually built our Smart Hub skill as well, the MyVI Smart Hub skill. So they did similar work on this one, except the main focus was integrating it with the login that already exists for bookshare.ie. So we didn't want people to have to make new accounts or go through the application again or anything like that. So you can actually go to the skill and log in with your Bookshare credentials that already exist, and all of your books and so on would already be linked to that. So that was really the main focus on our side in terms of getting this skill out. In terms of what it can do, it's really about accessing the features that you have online through your voice in the simplest way that you can manage. So you can go into your Alexa app and you can manually enable the Bookshare skill, or you could even just go to your Alexa and say, Alexa, enable Bookshare Ireland skill, and it should pop up then. And then you can go into the app and just link your account with your email and password, and it'll link to the bookshare.ie account that you already have and the books that are there. And then there's a few commands to access those books as well, which I can go through.
Yeah, do you want to give us a kind of overview of what some of those commands are? Because I think that's a great starting point for a lot of people.
Yeah, so when you first go into the Alexa skill, you'll hear kind of an opening message. So you say, Alexa, launch Bookshare Ireland, and then you'll get kind of a little welcome message and some music and so on. And it'll give you a few prompts. It'll kind of ask you what you want to do. It'll tell you you can use this command. But if you already know, you can just go ahead and say, Alexa, get my history. And what that will do is it'll go to your account and it'll find any books that are already downloaded. So if you've been on the website and you've clicked download on a Harry Potter book or so on, when you say get my history, it will find that downloaded book for you. And what it does then is it actually creates a list on your Bookshare account called Amazon Alexa Reading List. So when you go back to log in, you can actually see what books have become available by you using that command. And once it's gone into the list, the next time you go on, then you can actually just say, Alexa, list my books, and it'll give you the list of books that are already available, that you've downloaded, that you've put into the list already. So they're the main two commands: is get my history to see what's downloaded on the website, and then list my books will give you the list of books that you've previously downloaded if you've used the skill multiple times. As well, if you are in the middle of reading something and you've closed the skill, the next time that you go in, then it'll remember where you were and it'll ask, do you want to continue reading the first Harry Potter book where you left off? And then you can simply say yes and just continue listening to the book that you're listening to the previous time that you opened the skill.
That's brilliant. And something I tried out the skill, and something I noticed and I really liked was sometimes, when Alexa lists lots of things, it will then struggle to hear you when you respond with whatever the item was in that list. But what I really like here is that you can actually just respond with a number. So, for example, you might say, 1 or 2, and that corresponds with the option. And it makes it just a little bit easier. So there's some nice kind of usability features as well in there, just to make things a bit simpler, aren't there?
Yeah, that's a really great feature, because we all know, the names of books can be really long. Even then, when I was explaining, I just said the first Harry Potter book, so I don't have to list out the full name.
I have no clue what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be, Alexa will tell you, when you list your books, it'll say number 1, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, number 2, etc. And then you can just say, I want number 3. And then it'll start that book, which is really great.
That is brilliant stuff. Lena, if I come back to yourself, who is Bookshare available to? Because I think something that's really interesting and unique about this service is, yes, it's available to visually impaired and blind people, but it's also available to those with print disabilities, isn't it?
Yes, David, yes. Back in 2019, when we launched Bookshare.ie, or Bookshare Ireland at the time, we signed a service level agreement with the Dyslexia Association of Ireland. So we look after individuals who have reading difficulties, such as dyslexia, and also individuals who have a physical disability that stops them from accessing a print book. So that their sight might be good for reading, but the actual physical turning of pages might be a little bit difficult, and therefore we can help them out with Bookshare.ie. The eligibility criteria is on our website for Bookshare.ie, and signing up is quite straightforward as well. So anyone who's interested and who feels they're eligible, they can fill out the application form and submit it, and we'll take it from there.
So that then, as well as I was going to ask kind of how someone can sign up for Bookshare if they're listening to this for the first time and they're not familiar with Bookshare but think it's a service of value to them. Bookshare.ie is the destination for that?
Yes, the site is bookshare.ie, and the first thing that comes up on the screen then is log in or sign up. So you select sign up and you fill out the application form. The first application form is what I call a contact card, where it looks for your email and a password and your name and your telephone number. You submit that, and then the next step is you go to your email account and you verify your Bookshare account, and you complete the application form and you submit that online. We then receive that form from you, and we check it behind the scenes to make sure that all the information that you've put in is correct and accurate. And we then ask for further confirmation and proof of disability if someone has a reading difficulty such as dyslexia, or if they have a physical disability that stops them from accessing print. But those who are blind or vision impaired, the Vision Ireland has a national register of individuals, so we're able to check that application form against that national register, and we usually can activate the account pretty much straight away then if all the information is correct and accurate.
That's brilliant stuff. Adela, are there future plans either for this skill or the MyVI Hub? There's 2 Vision Ireland skills now, and your team works across both of them, as you mentioned. Are there future plans you can tell us about right now?
One thing that we'd really love is getting the PDF only books involved in the skill as well. So there's certain books that are set in PDF only, that obviously cannot be read out because they're not in an audio format. But there is legislation coming that is going to change the standards for accessible ebooks. So we're hoping when that happens, then all those PDF only books will be available in audio format as well, so that they'll be accessible on the skill. So that's the main thing that we're hoping will come in the next kind of few years.
So is it just right now, is it just those PDF only books that aren't currently accessible on the skill, or are most books accessible on the skill?
Yeah, all the books, the 1.3 million books are accessible on the skill. However, there's about 1,000 school books, David, that come in from the Irish Educational Publishers Association here in Ireland, with the 7 educational publishers. They provide their titles in PDF format, and at the moment the skill doesn't point to the PDF files. And as Adela said, it's something that we're hoping with the new EAA directive that's happening in June next year, that things will start to change in that area as well.
I just wanted to mention as well that there's information on the Bookshare website. So if you don't remember all the kind of utterances or commands that I've mentioned just now, you can go to bookshare.ie/Alexa-skill, and there's information there. And then there's also a video as well going through the commands and how they interact. So if people want to go to that webpage, then they can get a bit more information.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much. Lena, if I hand the final question to you, there are loads of other services obviously provided by your own team in the Vision Ireland Library. What kind of other stuff is on offer? Because you have Bookshare, but you're doing a variety of different stuff.
Yeah, we also offer Overdrive books, which are pure audiobooks with human narrated voices that we can send out either on USB key, or an individual can download to their phone or their tablet or their device that they're using. We also offer, under the traditional library service via the free post for the blind, we offer audiobooks on USB key that are sent backwards and forwards in the post, or audiobooks on CD. We also have braille books, embossed braille books that go out as free post for the blind, and also large print books. That collection is around about 28,000 titles for what we call the traditional library service. However, the digital library service is the service that's growing, and that's the future for the library is to grow the digital offering. And on an annual basis, we can incorporate anything up to about 150,000 new titles on bookshare.ie. So that is expanding rapidly, that collection. It's not a static collection, whereas the traditional library service is a little bit more static with its growth.
Fantastic stuff. It's really good to know and great to see the development around the library, and that it's all being embraced in the digital side as well, which is fantastic stuff. Adela, Lena, thank you so much for joining me on Talking Technology, and I'm sure we'll be doing this again sometime.
Thank you very much, David.
It really is a fantastic service there, isn't it? You've got to look at something like that, and you got to think, I mean, like we've seen and we've discussed on this podcast recently, tools like the 11 Labs Reader coming out and tools like that. And that's going to make something like Bookshare so useful, because you'll actually be able to get in time, I'm sure, like just a book, like it might be in an EPUB format or something like that. And in theory, then you'd be able to get something like the 11 Labs Reader with those really high quality voices to read it. Incredible stuff from the team over there. And yeah, to have it on Alexa now, it's really good. In fact, I was showing it to my sister last night, who's also visually impaired, and she was straight away thinking, for leaving certain novels and stuff like that. Like, it's just going to make life so much easier that you can listen on Alexa now. Really brilliant stuff. We do have as well a demo here. So I do want to give you an idea of how the actual Bookshare Ireland Alexa skill works. So all you've got to do is set this up on your Alexa app, or as Adela said, you can just tell an Alexa device to enable Bookshare Ireland. And once that happens, you'll be asked to link your account. And that is just linking with your MyVI username and password, or your Bookshare username and password, or email and password. And once you add the information in there, you'll be signed in and ready to go, and you will be able to add straight away books from your history over to your Alexa reading list. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick demo of how that works. So here I have Lady A, and I am going to do a quick demo of the new Bookshare Ireland skill. Now this is really cool. So as Adela said earlier on, as soon as I open this, it's going to ask me straight away if I want to continue reading my book, or I can go to the list. I can go to my list of books. I can do it whatever way I would like, and it guides you really well. So let me show you. Let's start by just opening up the skill. So all I want to do is I want to say the lady's special name, and then I'm going to say open Bookshare Ireland. So Alexa, open Bookshare Ireland.
Okay, here's Bookshare Ireland.
Give it a second to load.
Welcome to Bookshare Reader. Would you like to continue reading Podcasting for Dummies where we left off?
That's my favourite book, but no.
Okay. You can say list my books to choose a different book to read, or get my history to add books from your recent downloads. What would you like to do next?
List my books.
Here are your available books. 1. Podcasting for Dummies. 2. Flight of the Hummingbird. Which book would you like to read? You can also add books recently downloaded in Bookshare by saying get my history.
1.
Okay, let's read Podcasting for Dummies.
My favourite book.
748-6008. Or online at start of code section.
So that is continuing to read the book there, Podcasting for Dummies. My favourite book. I read it every night before I go to bed. It's like my Bible. I listen to it every night using Bookshare, of course. So you can just say, you'll notice there that I said 1. So it gave me a list, and it's kind of like those codes, press 1 for this, 2 for that. So you can say 1, in my case, to read Podcasting for Dummies, or I could say 2 to get Flight of the Hummingbird. And I could also say get my list if I just wanted to read it again, or get my history if I wanted to go through my full Bookshare Ireland history and things I've downloaded, and from there I can add things to my Alexa reading list. If you have a listen here, you'll hear that it is now reading the start of Podcasting for Dummies using synthesized speech.
No warranty may be created or extended by sales or promotional materials.
And there you go. So it's got a synthetic
contained
speech.
herein may not be suitable for every situation.
So it's kind of like listening to something with voiceover. It's not human read or anything like that. That's not what Bookshare provides. But you can just listen to the book. And it's simple enough. It's a great little interface. And then when you're done reading, you can just say,
Or
Alexa,
website is referred to in
stop. And there we go. It just stops as simple as that. And what's great, and you will have noticed this earlier on, now I said get my list straight away, but I could also, if I wanted to, it does offer to just resume your book from where you left off. So if I came back, let's say it's a new day, it's a new dawn, whatever, I can just say, Alexa, open Bookshare Ireland.
Okay, here's Bookshare Ireland. Welcome to Bookshare Reader. Would you like to continue reading Podcasting for Dummies where we left off?
Yes.
Okay, let's read.
in this work as a citation.
And there we go, it's reading it again.
Potential source of further information.
It's as simple as that. I don't have to go hunting for the book again or whatever. It's just like using something like Audible or Kindle or whatever you want to use. It's the same experience. It's really, really efficient. It's a fantastic job by the team there in the library and over in Viali. I'd definitely recommend giving it a go. You can go to bookshare.ie if you need more info. And you can just enable the Bookshare Ireland skill in your Alexa app. A fantastic piece of work there by the team at Vision Ireland and Viali. It really is a really cool skill and quite nice, and it's got an intuitive kind of interface to it. You know, that you can just say, you know, 1 or 2 to go through the menus, or just quickly continue your book as we demoed there, and as Adela said earlier on, some fantastic stuff in there. If you do want to enable the skill, you can just say enable Bookshare Ireland to your Alexa if you want. Or you can do it in the actual Alexa app itself. Now, there are some bugs in the Alexa app that are unfortunately beyond our control. We don't control everything, unfortunately, but there are some bugs in the app, but you can still do it. What you want to do is you want to go to the More section, so that's down at the bottom right corner of the Alexa app. So you go to the More tab there at the bottom right corner, and in there you will find Skills and Games. So when you go to Skills and Games, there's a search bar, but the search bar isn't actually red. So you'll find search bar and it will say that it's dimmed. But if you take a flick there to the left with VoiceOver, you will actually just hear VoiceOver will it'll do its little pip or its little sound, but it will say nothing. But when it says nothing, that's when you're in the right place. So just double tap, search for Bookshare Ireland. It should all work relatively smoothly there. So you want to go to Bookshare Ireland, and you can enable the skill there, link it to your Bookshare Ireland account, and from then you are ready to go. You will be able to read your books with that synthesized speech through your Alexa device, much like you would with something like Kindle. It really is a fantastic little interface, and well done to the team behind it. If you do need support, by the way, if you do need support at all, you can send an email at any time to library@vi.ie is the team there for the support for the Bookshare Ireland skill. That's library@vi.ie. And also, if you're a company or you're working with a company that wants to make sure their PDFs are accessible, whether they're for textbooks or something like that you're supplying to something like Bookshare, or maybe it's just a random document that you want to make accessible, you can contact the team over in Viali. They're a sister company as well. Their email is hello, that's HELLO, at Viali, VIALLY.IO. Viali.io. Hello at Viali.io. Right. On that note, let's move on because it is time for the Nuacht.
This is Talking Technology News.
So, with your latest Talking Technology News, I'm Daniel Dunn. A major outage hit the tech world last week following a huge bug in security software solution CrowdStrike. Many companies found their computers just showing the blue screen of death, rendering lots of critical infrastructure unusable. The damage was widespread, with many airports coming to a standstill and broadcasters like Sky News falling off air. In Ireland, there was disruption to service like Leap card top-ups and live transport information, with NCT test centres also having issues. It doesn't seem like there were any major assistive technology outages, although smart cane company WeWalk went offline over the weekend for an unrelated scheduled maintenance. It's crazy to see the chaos an incident like this can cause, and the economic hit will definitely be severe. In other news, audio description is going to be available for the Olympics and Paralympics, but it's unclear if it will be available in Ireland. In the United States, broadcaster NBC will have audio description on all of their coverage. And for those watching the Paralympics on Channel 4, audio description will also be available. RTE is not directly providing audio description, with a spokesperson telling VI Labs RTE Access Services will provide significant coverage of both the Olympic and Paralympic Games, with live subtitles provided for all events. We don't currently have the technical capability to provide live audio description. The host broadcaster France Télévisions will be providing audio description for viewers. We are following up with RTE to find out if this will be available to Irish viewers. Hopefully, we will see audio description come to more sports in time, but for now, we can look forward to getting behind Team Ireland. Orbit Research have announced a new 40-cell Braille display called the Q40. The Q40 and its 20-cell cousin, the Q20, offer a full-size laptop-style QWERTY keyboard, but let the user read any output through Braille. They have also announced the Orbit Speak, a pocket-sized Braille note-taker. The device has a number of built-in applications and can also connect to your computer or phone. As the name suggests, the output for the device is provided by synthesized speech, making this a really interesting standalone device or a companion to your phone. Time will tell if the products take off, but it's always good to see innovation in the Braille space. And finally, for now, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Toy company Mattel have today announced the launch of Blind Barbie, a doll that comes with her own cane. Blind Barbie dolls are similar to normal Barbie dolls, but there are a few adaptations to make the blind version more accessible and inclusive. The doll has tactile clothing, including a pink satin t-shirt and a purple tulle skirt. The clothing has been adapted with elastic to make dressing Barbie slightly easier. She also comes with optional sunglasses too. The doll's eyes reportedly reflect the gaze of a blind person, so face slightly up. The RNIB, who are assisting with the rollout in the UK, said, "We're so pleased with the details that have gone into designing this new Barbie, the tactile clothes as well as the cane and the sunglasses. It's an acknowledgement that not everyone can see well, which means a lot to the blind and partially sighted community. This is a positive step forward in helping children and adults with sight loss feel like they belong and are recognised." Today also sees the launch of a black Barbie doll with Down syndrome, following the success of the white Barbie doll with Down syndrome, which existed previously. Both dolls are part of the Barbie Fashionistas range, which first launched in 2009 and are available in-store and online. It's unclear yet whether Barbie has a preference for NVDA or JAWS, or we haven't heard just yet if she's a voice-over user. But with Braille on the box and a number of other adaptations too, it does look like the new doll is set to be fairly accessible. And that's it for now, but if you'd like to comment on any of our stories, we'd love to hear from you. Just send us a WhatsApp voice note to 086 199 0011. That's 086 199 0011. But for now, it's back to you, David.
Thanks, Daniel. So, Blind Barbie, are we on board?
Sorry, go, Joe.
Well, I'm on board. I know it wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. Maybe having dolls that represent disabled people and that kind of stuff. But I think it's probably a good thing to raise awareness and also help maybe children that have vision impairment and make them feel a little bit more inclusive. As you said at the end, David, I wonder, will they bring out a smartphone for Blind Barbie and maybe even a Braille touch device or something?
Yeah, Braille, the Barbie Braille display.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Braille display.
Do you know, it's an interesting one. I was talking to we had a technology group here in the Cork office earlier on, and I was talking to some of our service users about it and what they thought of Blind Barbie, and the response seemed universally positive. That, you know, it's all about inclusion and really just helping to even just get the word out there about sight loss and things like that. I do find it really interesting. I wonder, like, will this lead to adaptations in like the mainstream Barbie range? Like, there's stuff there, like the word Barbie is written in Braille on the box, for example, and also those they've got more accessible clothing with elastic and stuff like that. I do wonder, is that stuff that could make its way in time to like the, for want of a better way to put it, the mainstream Barbie range, but right now it's just staying in the Barbie fashionista range. But it is interesting stuff.
I think there's an option, or a good, I suppose option mightn't be the best word, but you know, a good thing for Mattel to take a look at and say, right, why are we not doing this across all the range of those toys? You know, because the toys should be just for every child, you know, so why not make them easier for everyone?
I do wonder, like, how many, you know, of these dolls that sell will be, you know, by kind of visually impaired or blind kids versus sighted kids, because there are going to be inevitably a lot of sighted kids who, you know, their first interaction with a visually impaired or blind person will likely be with Blind Barbie, which is kind of fascinating in a way, isn't it?
It is fascinating and educating, I suppose, in one way, if you want to look at it that way. As you said, if it is their first foray or touch with blind people, at least they'll learn what a white stick is. You know what I mean?
It's true.
There might be some information in the box about it as well. Look, there probably will be a lot of sighted kids, little girls and all that kind of stuff that will buy Blind Barbie because they like to collect them and have all the Barbies. Do you know what I mean? So it definitely is an educational thing as well. If we want to take the positives out of the whole story, I think it definitely is an educational thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely for awareness. I think it's a great move. You know, for as Joe perfectly put it, educational and awareness, I think is the way to sum that one up.
Absolutely. And Daniel, were you impacted by the CrowdStrike outage? Did it hit you last week, or did you avoid the worst of it?
No, but I will tell you about a great tweet I seen. Somebody had wrote up like half the internet is down today, but Microsoft's Outlook and Microsoft Teams are unaffected. This is the equivalent of you know, when it snows in wintertime for kids and it's just not enough to get a day off school.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great analogy.
It is. It's so true. Thankfully we were unaffected here in Vision Ireland, which was great. It was my only experience with it was the TFI apps were down when I was heading home on either Thursday or Friday there. It was a bit frustrating in that regard. But what I did see, right, and I thought this was so cool, and it's something I'm really tempted to do, is people have created like blue screen of death wallpapers for like iPhone and stuff. And I thought that's so silly and nerdy and stupid, but I do kind of love it. So yeah, I think I might end up rocking that at some stage, but there you go. So yeah, that's really interesting stuff there in tech news this week. Orbit Research as well, launching new Braille displays, some fantastic stuff there. It's always great to see that innovation in the Braille display industry. And Joe, audio description in the Olympics. I have an exclusive update just in actually from the team at RTE. And they have updated their statement just to tell us that at this stage, they believe that the feed from France is going to be specifically for French viewers, but they will update us with more information on that in time.
Okay.
It's an interesting one.
That's an interesting one. I'll have to brush up on my French, my Leave It Cert French.
Monsieur Joseph.
Didn't do too well on it, so look, I'll have to revise, I think. Yeah, it's a pity really that they haven't upped their game and maybe got someone to focus in on even some of the Irish events for audio with audio description or something like that. But yeah, look, there is the option, I suppose, to listen to some events on the radio, which might give you more descriptions. And BBC 5 Live cover an awful lot of events as well, and they will include some of the Irish athletes too. So maybe we won't be totally left out, but a little bit disappointing that our own broadcaster, which we pay a licence fee, doesn't have audio description on all, at least the Irish competitors.
It is true, in fairness. I do think it's definitely something that RTE should be looking into, because like if you think about it, right, like there's so many live events. Like television now is like a live event medium. That's really the purpose it serves. Like great, we've on demand, but if you're watching traditional television, it's because you're watching something, you know, big. Like the biggest events are things like the Euros final or the
All-Ireland hurling final.
Stop it, Daniel. Don't hurt me like that. But I wasn't going there. I'm too traumatized. But yeah, like it is, but genuinely though, it is events like that that draw the biggest TV audiences now. And I think, you know, for RTE and broadcasters like them, I think even if that audio description is provided on the player and stuff like that, I think they need to innovate and really, they need to get that stuff right.
Definitely, I agree, David. And all joking aside about the hurling, there is lots of things you can miss. I even say to people, miss a lot of stuff. Yeah. Don't bring up the referee. But look, I think we should push. We should push to get more audio description. The general service user and us as an organisation should push to get more audio description on events like that. We've seen the great work that Shamrock Rovers have been doing in the last few years, giving audio description to their localised fans, as well as streaming events through COVID and things like that, and not just Shamrock Rovers, Bohemians as well. They actually started it, and it's spreading around the country slowly. But it'd be great to get a few sponsors on board and get the audio description like they did for the Euros and the rugby, and just spread the wings of that great feature in other sports, especially the complicated ones like maybe hurling and Gaelic football and stuff like that.
The speed of that game on Sunday, God, I will, pity any team that's going to have to go in there and audio describe that, because you'd have to speak at 100 miles an hour to cover it.
It'd be like an auction.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. It was so quick, so fast, so furious. Oh my God, what a treat.
It's one of these things. I think when so many, we've seen now that other broadcasters are doing this, and I think we need to look at it, and it would be a shame for Ireland to fall behind, because RTE have done some fantastic work, especially around audio described drama and stuff in recent years. They've done some fantastic work in there. So I think it is one of these things where, you know, they need to keep their, you know, pardon the pun, they need to keep the eye on the ball there to really get their, you know, to keep up with the other broadcasters. You know, there is going to be audio description for the Paralympics on Channel 4, audio description for all Olympic events on NBC in the States. So I think for Irish viewers, they mentioned France Televisions there, but like, you know, it's one of these things where it will be a shame to think that Irish viewers would miss out on that, you know. But yeah, one of these things. Interesting stuff. Joe, Daniel, thank you so much. Let's move on very quickly to Quick Picks, shall we?
It's time for VI Labs Quick Picks.
And Joe, at Quick Picks this week, we have Halos. Now, Joe, you're going to have to tell me a little bit about these, because they sound really cool, but I must admit, I've never actually tried them. But what are Halos?
Well, the full name for them is, these are actually bump-ons, Halo tactile stickers. You can get them in different packs. There's one pack is called a home pack. Halo stands for Home Appliance Location Overlay. I nearly forgot there what it stood for, but Home Appliance Location Overlay. So basically, you can they're aimed at people who want to label their appliances. So just a spoiler, I hoping to get some new appliances soon, and I'm looking into these stickers, and they're not sold widespread or that easy to buy in Ireland at the moment. I see Etsy are selling them home pack for €31. They sell an oven pack for €7 or €8, and a couple of other different packs. But you can Google Halo tactile stickers and Etsy will come up. I did speak to Breda, and she's looking into seeing are they a viable option for the shop down the line. But I think the idea of them is, for example, if you have an oven or an air fryer, maybe with options on it such as chicken or fish, you can get a sticker with the shape of a fish on it, or a sticker with the shape of a chicken. Same with your other devices, maybe to have play and pause on it. Your play button is usually like a triangle to the right, so this sticker will have a triangle shape in the middle. And there will be a square, I think a pause is a square shape, that kind of thing. So these stickers are more tactile and more shaped. Do you know what I mean, David? So you'll recognise stuff by the shape of what it is.
Joe, are you telling me that I could have every bump-on in the house replaced with the shape of a chicken?
Well,
because I'm on board.
As long as it makes sense, David, for you, yeah, you can.
Everything makes sense once it's chicken, Joe. I'm so on board. But genuinely, these do sound really cool, because like it does mean that, like, traditionally, you know, especially if you look at something like a washing machine, you know, you can put bump-ons at key points on the dial or whatever, but like for, you know, you might not know exactly what they are if you use, you know, 4 or 5 of them. Whereas here you can have like cold, you can have like different symbols for different things to really indicate as to what they actually are. So it really does free you up a little bit, that you're not just limited to, big bump on, small bump on, you know?
No,
it's really
now that you mention it, there is a special package for a washer. Yes, so I haven't looked into that one because I have a smart washing machine myself, and I don't have bump-ons on it. I used to have a more tactile washing machine, but a lot of the washing machines nowadays are, I suppose, fairly digital, and sometimes the wheel goes all the way around, you know, and there is no way of stopping the wheel at 30 or 40 degrees, if you know what I mean. So just be careful when you are buying a washing machine that you buy something that is more analog than digital.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a really interesting concept, and one that's definitely worth looking into, because and even at the price point, they're not crazy. Know, like they may, if they do make something significantly more accessible, that may be well worth it for a lot of people, in fairness. But do you think you'll be getting some, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going to try them out, hopefully in the next month or so, and I'll order them and I'll let people know how I get on. They definitely are an interesting product, and I'm sure for things like air fryers that have maybe 6 different cooking options, especially if you don't buy a smart air fryer. Smart isn't everybody's cup of tea, you know, like not everybody has a touch screen, not everybody wants a touch screen, or not everybody wants all their devices connected. So lots of people out there still like the tactile, you know, and having that ability to touch something, you know what it is straight away without picking up a second device, you know what I mean? So I think they're an excellent idea, a great, hopefully a great product, and maybe somebody might buy them and send us a voice note and tell us how you get on as well, or even tell us what other options you use. There is other bump-ons available in the Vision Ireland shop, and there's even smaller than bump-ons, which are called locator dots or locator markers, and these are suitable for touchscreens of appliances and even smartphones, so they are even small keyboards. So just keep in mind there is other options out there as well as these the Halo tactile markers or stickers, and there is, just be creative and find a way around using your device. Don't give up on it.
Absolutely. And it's worth noting as well that those Halo stickers are available in different colours as well. So that is something that is worth noting, especially for those of you who have low vision. Joe, thank you so much for that. Now, before we finish up today, a few thank yous. I do want to thank, of course, Joe and Daniel, who contributed to the show today. But we do want to say a very special thank you on this show today, because many of you who listen to Talking Technology week in, week out, or indeed who have had interactions with Vision Ireland in recent years, you will know the one and only Mr. JP Corcoran. JP has been with Vision Ireland for 14 years. but he is moving on to ventures new. In fact, he moved on to a new role and finished up with ourselves here in Vision Ireland on Friday. But we just wanted to say a massive thank you to JP, because he has done a huge amount for Vision Ireland, but also Vision Ireland's service users over the past few years. And he's been a huge supporter of us, obviously as our manager in digital content too in recent years. He's been my manager since I joined. Joe, do you want to add a few bits here? A huge impact on what we've done with content, and huge help to visually impaired people for many years.
Yes, I would also like to say farewell and thank you to JP Corcoran. He has been a great manager of digital content team. He has helped lead and produce over 200 Tech on Tap newsletters and almost the same amount of podcasts, as well as other work in the organisation of helping many service users. JP has been many service users' favourite over the years, and he has been a very obliging and kind person, and we wish him all the best of luck in the future.
We absolutely do. And I know there are going to be those of you listening, and some of you may want to send your best wishes to JP. If so, feel free to email content@vi.ie, and we will make sure that gets to JP as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Just say, JP was, as Joseph, very obliging and, very helpful. And, the work, I know some of the work he done there with getting stuff ready for podcasts and all that, and you might get an email from JP and next thing you know it's the time and it could be 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So he went way above and beyond what was asked of him, so fair play to him, JP. And the next company you're going to work for, they're absolutely privileged and lucky to have you. So the best of wishes for JP going forward.
Absolutely. And as I say, if you do want to leave a message for JP, send it to us, content@vi.ie, and we'll make sure that gets to him as well. So with that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, as always, for listening to Talking Technology, and we'll have another episode for you in a few weeks' time. So please do subscribe across the podcast app. Subscribe on our YouTube channel just by searching VI Labs over there on YouTube. And of course, you can tune in to VI Live any time that you want, 24/7. We have loads of great content from the back catalogue there, and we would love to have you involved. So for now, that is it. Thank you so much for listening. Do get in touch with us if you want to by email, content@vi.ie, or on WhatsApp. That number you need is 086 199 0011. But for now, that's it. We'll see you soon, and keep safe.
Thanks for listening to the Talking Technology podcast with VI Labs. If you'd like to support our show, please visit vi.ie/donate. Talking Technology is proudly sponsored by IA Labs, the market leader in digital accessibility services. IA Labs, digital inclusion, your legal obligation.